You were obviously always going to win your first major at Wimbledon.
That was a given, yeah.
But walk us through, like, there's so many parts of your stories that are, or that of your story that just don't make a lot of sense, right? And then you start putting in the human element, and you start layering over, certain factors in life, and then it kind of makes sense at some point, but you got to kind of dig a little bit. Like, you played in '87, you didn't play Wimbledon for 4 years during this whole upswing of fame and success, and the whole, jean short Moulet, the whole deal. You didn't play Wimbledon again until 91. You took 4 years off. Then you come out and win in 92. Like, how does your brain click to where you're obviously not playing it because you think maybe I'm putting words in your mouth, but obviously they make me wear stuff I don't want to wear, and I'm a baseliner. Like, all these guys are hitting bombs and coming in, and correct me where I'm wrong. But then when do you feel like, oh, you know what? Not only should I play it, I think I can win it. Like, that's a fucking lifetime of mental gymnastics for most. And it seems like you're able to, like, once you can get it in your grasp, then you feel like you can actually wrestle with it, right?
Yeah.
But what is that process?
I've been known to be the person that paints myself in the corner in order to, find a way out. I mean, let's get to the heart of it, right? I mean, because you're saying, how do you make sense of it? I never chose tennis, right? From day one, right? News alert, most controversial thing in my book came on page 1 that I hated tennis. All right, now I'm not making that up. Like, I saw what it did to my family. I saw what it did to relationships. It always meant too much. I always resented it, right? It didn't mean that I wasn't good at it, but you can be motivated through two things in your life, fear or love. And it was fear that was driving me, right? It was fear of my father, the youngest of 4 children. It was just get sent away from home, Nick Bollettieri Tennis Academy. It's like Lord of the Flies with forehands and backhands. I mean, teenagers raising each other, no adult supervision. This place is a hell. I want to burn it down. I mean, like, rebellion kicked in at the age of 13. Told my dad to piss off basically by then too, right? Like, when I tell you I'm living a real life rebellion, and my anger is directed at tennis, misdirected, but nevertheless directed at tennis. I mean, rage is an interesting thing, and I chose to use my intuitiveness of my resentment of tennis. And that rage is something that I knew I didn't want to ever use to hurt people. So I had to direct it somewhere. So I directed it, at the easiest thing in front of me, the thing that was responsible for the misery of my whole life at the time, which I concluded was tennis. And so getting out of the academy was about survival. It was about, here's how I can get out, win. Win. Like, just, okay, now I'm pro, and now I'm out in this man's world with this teenage rebellion. And then everybody's telling me, sticking microphones in my face, asking me who I am, asking me to make sense of why I'm wearing jean shorts. Well, I'm wearing jean shorts because it's a big fuck you to the whole world. It's like, that's how I felt at the time. It's a reality, right? And it's like, so there's this push-pull that was always going on in my decision-making. I didn't play Wimbledon because I felt like I was playing in a giant, like, dollhouse. I mean, on Bambi on ice, it's like grass. I mean, you could tell me to smoke this stuff and I understand it, but to play on it, I mean, like, how do you play on this surface? You can't even stand on. I didn't even get to practice it. They treat you like a stranger in your own club. I mean, it's like in your own tournament. It's like, you're not seated. You can't go over there, right? And you can't practice at Wimbledon because, I'm 16 years old going, anti-establishment, anti-everybody. It's like, and I'm in a man's world trying to pay bills, right? So it's like traveling the world with my brother, just not being begrudged in the locker room. At least that's my perception. But nevertheless, I start to then not go to the locker room, which makes them think I'm begrudging my peers. And then it's just, everything was just compounding. So my whole life has been about, I didn't play Australia because I wanted something normal. And that's called Christmas. And that's called New Year's. I mean, that's how simple it was. That's as simple as
that was it.
As little as I could play and get away with it, I was thrilled.
It's amazing to me though, and then we'll get back on topic because I think that 90. I remember. It's so funny because like your matches, I remember where I was for them, like the biggest ones. Like I remember I was at 92 Wimbledon final. I was at Jeff Lau's house, and we were playing ping pong, and then we were like, and we sat there as 9-year-olds at the time, and kind of dialed it in and then he misses the volley and you go down. It's like, I think even at that point I understood like the weight of expectation and pressure and the release valve and accomplishment and the whole thing. Talk about just quick couple lines on each. This new, when the big threes, Novak will eventually retire. We had this, where they swallowed up 60 some odd Grand Slams over time, and we're like,
stingy bastards.
Okay, yeah, we're getting back to some parity, and then Carlos comes in as 1-4 by 22. Sinner is looking like an extension of Novak. Maybe not the defensive skills, but when he gets on the front foot, he doesn't just hit it through the court. He hits it through the court. I was amazed at the amount of shape that he has on it and how heavy he hits it. Like he's like an algorithm. And so you have these guys again. What are you seeing when you're watching these two players?
Oh yeah, I mean the same thing you're seeing. I mean, Alcaraz's upside on anything that isn't sure footing,
not concrete.
Yeah, I think is a little higher. The thing that amazes me most watching, Carlos play live, like, was how little his speed diminishes on clay and grass, right? Like most people who are fast, they go to grass and their speed comes down, their court coverage comes down 5%, just because you have to be really careful in the corners. You got to be careful on your first step. You got to let your body weight move before you start
pushing. You have to
pushing.
run through shots also. You can't stop and hit at the same time.
But you can slide into him. Even if you slide into him, the first step out has to be very careful. Second step has to be your push. So everybody's movement comes down a touch. His didn't. It's like he trusted himself so much on the power of his second push that him running for a drop shot that caught him cold, center court Wimbledon, would have broken my groin to think about going to that ball. And he just trusts that pause till his weight goes, and then he sticks on the jets, and he gets there like a flying saucer versus the F-15. It's like everybody's flying a plane, and he's like changing altitudes and reversing, and his speed doesn't diminish. So on slippery surfaces, I mean, his upside is incredible, and he's still so raw. I hope he should learn how to maximize, and we should enjoy watching him before he maximizes, because it's so much fun for the fan to watch the way he plays the game. But he still has so much more upside from a standpoint of longevity. And now Sinner's the exact opposite, right? Sinner is like constantly maximizing. He's never hit a ball he doesn't really need to, and when he does let one rip, it makes you wonder if he was forced to, what that gear would really look like. Cause he's taking 85% cuts, and they're like, his jab is like a
just smothers
straight
people.
Right. It's like a straight right, but then don't kid yourself from the corners. I mean, you don't put him on maybe Novak from the corners, because Novak's greatest.
He's absurdly great. I'm just saying, like, maybe gets on the front foot sooner versus Novak is more likely to actually invite the test to the corners.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. I mean, Jannik just wants to take over it and never look back.
One thing I want to touch on real quick before we finish is, can you talk about how you scheduled your practices at Wimbledon in 1999?
I didn't.
You didn't, but Brad did. Did he have any instructions? He seemed to think that it was supposed to either be before or after someone. That's become.
Yeah. So I would Wimbledon in 92 alongside my now bride, Steffi Graf. I guess if you ever win Wimbledon, it was probably next to her during those years. And there's the first year they canceled the dance. And I was just bummed about that. Tried for a few years, wasn't worthy enough apparently. But then we won the French together in 99, and maybe gave me the confidence. Maybe I'm worthy now. I don't know. So it was her birthday, and I knew that, and so does the world. But I was flying back to London, and I was like, I wanted to just accidentally run into her and accidentally give her a birthday card that I made, and accidentally leave my phone number on it, what have you. So I just, so Brad would schedule practices, like, just, it was simple. It's just, he go there, Graf +1, and then I stalked her the whole tournament. So I'd show up early and I'd act like I stretched.
But by the way, pause on that shit for a second. Because anyone who knows Andre, he would walk into the locker room, he'd kind of go like this, like do this, and then go practice. And then if he actually stopped at the locker room on the way to his car, it was a miracle. Yeah. Less time spent in the locker room than maybe anyone that's ever been on tour. So the fact that you're out, it didn't stretch. No stretching, no massage. No one's ever seen body work. It's like this thing. What happens? What happens when Andre goes home? We don't know. But it certainly wasn't stretching. So the fact that you're out there 15 minutes early, kind of pretending to stretch, is the best part of the story.
Oh, without a shirt on too. Without a shirt on. But you know who spent less time at a tennis court than
Steph?
me? Was Steph. Yeah. I mean, because she had the luxury of
she won every match in 46 minutes. Yeah, exactly.
Totally. And but she was the same way. She just like zip, 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 gone. Like. Yeah, no, that was definitely, I was not, one time I might have been on the table more than once, but I remember one time that I was on the table, I think it was Henman. He looks over at me and he goes, "Can I just say something?" And I was like, what's up? He goes, "This is a real honor." And I go, what's an honor? He goes, "Actually being on the table next to you, because I don't think anybody's ever done that before."
Ever.
Yeah, because I was just never, it wasn't my deal.
The visual of you scheduling practices around her practices and actually getting there and stretching would have ended me. We didn't know each other at that point, but that would have absolutely killed me.